Hello, everyone, and happy 10-year anniversary for the worldwide release of Angry Birds Epic. In this tier list, I have all 30 classes. 6 for all 5 birds, because if you do the math, 5 times 6 equals 30, but let's move on to the list. And trust me, these are purely based around stats, specifically. So, like, certain ones will be lower than others, and certain ones will be higher than others. Like the Paresis, for example, which will start as the first. I was just fidgeting around with the classes over here. Like, at the bottom. But the Priestess will go all the way up into S tier. Like if you do the Spirit Link ability with the Rage Chili ability, bro, trust me, that stuff is going to be overpowered, bro. Yeah, because everyone will be healed right off the bat. But, like, this lasts, like, 3 turns, so you're going to have to be careful. And her main ability also lasts 3 turns. Probably to balance stuff out, but, like, some people did say it's not that balanced. But next up is the Spies. I feel like out of all the classes for the Blues, I feel like the least useful has to be the Spies. But unless you, like, do the whole, what is it? The Spirit Link or something with the Glee ability that the Spies have. Then it basically, you'll have somewhat of a decent healing ability. Now we got Chuck's Wizard class next. I hate to say it, but this is also Chuck's least useful class. Yet, in my opinion, the Wizard probably has the best design out of all of Chuck's classes. Because the Mage and Lightning Bird look very generic at best. Not implying that they're terribly designed. But, like, the Wizard just looks 10 times better. Yet the stats are not even that great. What makes it into the C tier or even the D tier for that is because, like, it can only attack up to 4 enemies at most. And when the next attack jumps, like, the attack gets weaker instead of, like, you know, the attacks just remaining the same in terms of damage for everybody else, while one character suffers the most. Like, I feel like that's not fair and a tad bit not too balanced. It feels underbalanced, if anything. The next one is the Samurai, which will go, I guess, above the Priestess in the S tier category. We all know why this is S tier. I highly doubt I need to explain this. But this next class, despite being an A tier, the Paladin, is much more fun to use than the Samurai. You know, I want to deliver a fun fact. Did you know that the Paladin was originally the 4th class for Red as opposed to the 5th? Yeah, the 5th class was always the Avenger, which it's obvious where that's going, and I highly need to explain it. The reason I find also originally, like in older versions, it would cost, the Paladin would also cost 60 golden coins, but like the lucky coin count was increased to 30. This is probably to prevent people from having too much fun with it, even though the Samurai was probably just as overused as the Paladin, so I don't get the whole point of increasing the price like that. And they literally just got rid of the game off the App Store, so they had all the time to actually, like, revert this change. Because, let's be honest, no one's gonna pay 130 coins just to have fun with one class. Even the Skulkers cost that much. Like, how does that make any sense? But the reason that the Samurai is better is because of the whole protection bubble is doing 50% for a target. So if a target gets hit, like, 50% of the damage will be, like, you know, decreased. So, but the Knight actually has a 55%, which is 5% more than the Samurai. But it's obvious that the Samurai is more fun to use overall. By the way, I just restarted the game. But the Stone Guard, I guess B tier? I don't know. I don't know. Y'all can change that if y'all want. I'll change that if I have to. Next, we got the Treasure Hunters. Also an S tier. Probably above both the Samurai and the Paristas. As a matter of fact, some versions call it the Pariste and the others called it the Paristas. I think the Elite Paristas is the name of the Elite version. Which a lot of y'all would call that weird. Someone on Twitter pointed that out. But we got the Tricksters. You know, I feel like out of all the Blues classes, just like with the Paladin with Red, the Blues, my most favorite class for them happens to be the Tricksters. Because, well, if you really think about it, they can boost attack power and clear negative effects. That's the one thing that gets them to A tier. They don't compete with the Treasure Hunters, not gonna lie, but that doesn't stop me from having any fun. Then we got the Princess. C or D, I don't know. Probably a low C tier. I don't know. Like, let's be honest. I'm not trying to risk my most, like, powerful character getting out that early. You know, I heard there was actually this one dude that's trying to remake Angry Birds Epic. It's called Angry Birds Epic All Stars, where the guy was trying to balance out like the levels, the classes for the characters. And I absolutely love the idea of this because some classes are just either too overpowered or just very popular to the point where everybody uses them. I mean, if they don't have a choice, then fair enough. But, like, if you have all the classes, just have fun with the other ones. Like, it's not that hard. And that's why, like, the Samurai and the Priestess are going to get nerfed in that one. Because these classes are just agonizingly overrated. Like, just in my general opinion. That doesn't mean they're not fun to use. Like, come on. Like, I'll have fun every once in a while or whatever. Next, we got Chuck's Mage class. That's also... While that goes above the Wizard, it's still going in C tier because, let's be honest, even if it isn't the most fun class to use for Chuck, the Thunderbird is way better in stats. So, there's no reason to use this once you purchase the Thunderbird. Next, we got the Skulkers. I absolutely love the Skulkers. But despite that, they might go high B or even low A. I hate to put it really low on the A tier list. Okay. But the Rainbird is easily going into S tier. Another one that barely requires an explanation. You can get rid of the harmful effects on one single individual. But everyone else suffers the same amount of healing. Bard? I don't know about the Bard. I guess C? I don't know. Another one that's in the C tier is the Cleric. But it can go in the B tier. That's depending on how you play the game. You know, I just realized that now we're on to the Captain. I might as well point this out about Bond. He's probably the only bird in this whole game where I don't think, like, anyone have his classes in S tier. Like, none of them were even S tier material, with the Captain probably being the closest thing to an S tier class out of all of Bomb's classes. You know, I always loved the trio between the Tricksters, the Captain, and the Paladin. I love using this trio so much. It's just so fun. Because think about it, the Captain can boost 60% of your power, but take away 10% of your health. That's probably for balancing reasons. Then we got the Sea Dog. I guess A tier as well? I don't know. Because think about it. I also find the Sea Dog to be quite fun to use. Even though it does somewhat cost a lot. I think it cost 260 coins as of recently. I think it was like 275 when it was initially released. Or at least when the game was initially released. I mean, at least they nerfed the price on this one, but this isn't saying much, as it's still agonizingly expensive regardless. Plus, plus, if you're free to play, yeah, good luck trying to get something that costs gold for any of these birds at all. Like, yeah, good luck on that if you're free to play. Next, we got the Witch, all the way down in D tier. Our first D tier in this whole video. But that's not going to be the only D tier, don't worry. I just mentioned the class earlier. I hope you guys kept up with that one. And then we got the Berserk, which is also going into C tier. A lot of these classes, we have more C tiers than any other tier possible. But very well, certain ones could be lower or higher depending on how you guys are playing the game. I also forgot to mention with the Bard that the odds of stunning somebody is really low. But the odds can be bumped up if you have like the Doom set. Like it's like a I don't even know how to explain the set, but like if you stun a person or they get frozen by the Frost Savage, which we'll get to in a minute, they will take extra damage. What makes it even more poisonous to deal with if you have like the Rogues or the Rainbird or even the Druid. But like the Bard has a chance on stunning individuals. And the chances are already low enough. Even with the set. So that's why it's in C tier. But the Illusionist, which was introduced during the Sonic event back in 2015, they crossed over, it's going into A tier. Yeah, I feel like them crossing over with Sonic might have been a massive foreshadow that Sega would buy Rovio Entertainment. I thought that was a massive foreshadow or whatever. Yo, I feel like some finesse game really needs to like do an Angry Birds type of thing. Like I don't care which finesse game it is. Like any of y'all finesse developers out there. Because think about it. Whatever. I'll just get onto that in a different video. But the Frost Savage, I heard people say like C or D. I don't know where to put it. I'll just put it in C. The Cannoneer and the Pirate are going into B tier. Wait, how many classes do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 classes left. Yeah, I'm just speed by and also put the Guardian in B tier, while the Druid goes into A tier. Probably Matilda's only other class that's above B tier. I could very well put Cleric up there, but I don't want to risk anything. I just said the Thunderbird was A tier. Both of Chuck's gold costing classes are both A tier. While the Knight could go into C tier, and the Avenger is all the way down to D tier, probably below the Witch. If I were to do like all classes from best to worst, the Avenger would take 30th place overall. But like I said, there's no F tier on this tier list, although I could just edit it out, but I'm not doing that. But the Lightning Bird is B tier. It's a slightly more useful version of the Trickster since it could dispel effects from multiple enemies instead of just one single target. I mean, other blues classes can dispel just as long as you have like a slingshot type of weapon. Like that one legendary set item where it's basically the slingshot. But the rogues are also in B tier above the spies. And our last one is all the way up in S tier. Yeah, we'll just meet in the middle of S tier. And there we go. That's all 30 classes. 30 classes in total. 6 classes for 5 birds. With Avenger being the worst. Oh, excuse me. Oops, sorry about that. The Avenger is the worst, and the Treasure Hunters are the best, costing gold in the process. I feel like the Treasure Hunters might also get a rework in the All-Stars version of the game, which is a fan-made game. And I would like to give yet another happy 10-year anniversary to this game. This is currently my most favorite game so far since it takes the RPG aspect. I don't do much RPG, yet it's my favorite genre for a video game. Minus slingshot games per se, but like, bro. But out of all of the frequent types of genres, RPG is my most favorite one currently. And I just wish that Rovio did more of this more often. Just without the movie designs, please. And given that this franchise is going over a 15-year anniversary, let's just hope that the movie designs won't be overused like the previous years have went on. And I think that's all for this video. Thank you guys for watching. And I will see you guys in the next episode, or next video.